If you have a concrete slab like a driveway or a garage floor or even a sidewalk, chances are it'll eventually sink and crack. But you might not have to replace it. Today we'll learn an interesting method of concrete slab leveling. I'm meeting up with Mario Capello from PermaSeal. Today his crew is leveling a garage floor and driveway. Mario, tell me about some of the problems this homeowner is having with their garage floor and their driveway.
The end of the driveway here, coming into the house, that's kind of settled down, and what's happening is water's pooling there whenever it rains, which in the wintertime, can cause issues with ice. So Chris' main concern there is getting that to kind of pitch away from the driveway and back into the street to alleviate some of that icing up issues. The second problem Chris is having is the piece of concrete going into his garage. Right at the end of the driveway, it just kind of settled down about an inch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise that back up. Then the third issue he's having is inside the garage. It's actually cracked completely in half, and the entire backside of his garage is just settled down about an inch.
There's a lot that I would like to obviously do in the garage, get better organized, clean it up, make it look a lot nicer. It obviously shows its age in there, but first things first, got to make sure that the floor is level so that I'm not having puddles in there.
What's the process and the method that you're going to use to try to fix some of the problems today?
So the process that we're going to use is called PolyLevel. What that is a polyurethane foam that we inject underneath the concrete, and that expands and it actually raises the concrete up from underneath. It's not a long process at all. The job we're going to do today roughly takes about 2 to 4 hours.
And how many workers do you typically use for the process?
Generally we use a 2-man crew. It's 2 guys, 1 guy runs the gun, the other guy drills holes, puts the ports in, and cleans up behind the first guy.
Mario, I've heard of mudjacking. What is that, and how is that different from the PolyLevel process?
So mudjacking is actually a real similar process to PolyLevel. Biggest difference with it is we're using an actual polyurethane foam as opposed to injecting more concrete underneath your existing concrete. Mudjacking, they come in and they drill holes about this big. Holes we drill are the size of a penny. So we're able to inject our foam in there. As it expands, it actually weighs a lot less than concrete. Mudjackers, when they inject more concrete underneath, that weighs about 150 pounds per cubic foot, whereas PolyLevel weighs only 4 pounds per cubic foot. So it doesn't tend to settle back down because we're not injecting more weight. A couple other things is that it keeps you from having to replace concrete. When you go to replace it, you get brand new concrete and put it up against the old stuff, it doesn't match. So this allows us to reuse the concrete that's already there. And we also give a 5-year warranty because we know it's not going to settle back down.
Is it more of an eco-friendly process?
It is an eco-friendly process. We're not tearing out concrete, we're not throwing it in waste dumps and things like that. It doesn't hurt the environment, so it's a real eco-friendly product. We've been doing PolyLevel for a little bit over a year now, and we're having great success with it. Tons of clients. In our busy season, we have 3 full-time trucks going.
Actually, I didn't know that they were using a poly system until the tech came out, so it was interesting to hear the difference between that and the mudjacking.
Let it go?
Keep going, might as well fill it up.
Whew. So that's what's underneath all the concrete, Mario?
That's the foam.
Oh, I love it. It's hot, too. I didn't expect it to be that hot.
Yeah, it's about 130 degrees.
So what situation would you use the foam in?
So really anywhere that there's sunken concrete or concrete that needs to be stabilized. Sidewalks, driveways, garage floors, additions to houses, enclosed porches, patios. Anywhere there's concrete, we can level it.
What causes concrete to actually sink and crack?
So there's a couple different factors that go into that. If you have downspouts outside your home that are running towards your concrete, time, weight. Concrete's heavy. Over time, the soil underneath erodes and washes away, just starts to slowly settle.
So why is this a better process than replacing the whole slab?
Well, the biggest thing is cost. It's about 1/4 of the cost of replacing your concrete. So that's a big factor there. Plus, it's faster. We're in and out, and you can drive on it in 15 minutes.
We looked into replacing the floor and actually the driveway as well, but the cost was just too prohibitive, so we were looking for something that was kind of a more financially friendly option.
So how about that? In just a few hours, it's all level and stable and ready to go. We'll post more information about this process next to this segment on our website, HouseSmartsTV.com.